In the Bang Pli district of Samut Prakan, located along the transit corridors stretching toward Pattaya, a sudden and chaotic event unfolded late on a Tuesday evening. A 32-year-old American arrived at a luxury housing estate in a frantic state. Witnesses saw him shouting, rolling on the pavement, and raising his hands as if in prayer. When police officers arrived to assist, the man suddenly bolted, diving into a 10-meter-deep lake within the estate. He swam until he appeared exhausted, slipping beneath the water before rescue divers could reach him. When investigators searched the 22 million baht luxury home he had been renting, they found a scene of total destruction. Black and yellowish paint was splattered everywhere, ruining the walls, the furniture, and the electrical appliances. The man in the lake was Connor Murphy. Tu has 2.3 million YouTube subscribers. He was an incredibly famous fitness influencer, known for pulling off highly produced, over-the-top physical stunts. The reality of his final moments in Thailand stood in stark contrast to his online persona. Only months prior, his audience heralded him as the pinnacle of male physical perfection. This graph maps a digital ecosystem where extreme physical optimization is rewarded with massive engagement, while psychological stability quietly collapses. Murphy's death reveals what happens when a culture demands physical perfection at the absolute expense of basic human survival. Long before the events in Samut Prakan, Murphy built his brand in Austin, Texas. He started his career as a mainstream bodybuilder and fitness prankster, but in 2020, his content took a severe detour. He pivoted away from standard fitness advice and began experimenting with extreme, prolonged fasting protocols and the psychedelic brew ayahuasca. Curious, analytical tone, combining intense, ritualistic psychedelic experiences with severe caloric restriction places immense stress on the human brain. For Murphy, these practices appeared to trigger and amplify deep psychological vulnerabilities. By 2021, the internal strain became completely public. He began posting alarming videos with titles like "R.I.P. Connor Murphy," signaling to his audience that he was undergoing a severe mental health crisis. The crisis moved from the digital screen into the clinical world in 2021, when Murphy was placed on a psychiatric hold at UCLA Medical Center for evaluation and treatment. This right here is the optimization trap. Instead of stepping back from the camera to heal, the digital ecosystem pulled him right back in, pushing him toward an even more extreme subculture. He embedded himself in looks-maxing, an internet subculture where young men strive for ultimate attractiveness through extreme grooming and bone structure fixation. Murphy became a central figure here. He stopped worrying about general muscle mass and instead zeroed in entirely on modifying hyper-specific facial features. This anatomical diagram demonstrates the mechanics of his transformation. To alter his jawline, Murphy began chewing highly resistant mastica gum for 6 to 7 hours a day. This chronic stress forces the masseter muscles to hypertrophy, creating a wider, sharper lower face. To long-term fans, the blocky jawline looked jarring, but within the looks-maxing community, this radical manipulation was celebrated as a massive success. The extremity of this physical facade successfully camouflaged his internal reality. Because he looked incredibly fit and chiseled, millions of followers assumed he was healthy, completely missing the ongoing psychological decline. It created a tragic mirror effect. The harder and more optimized his exterior became, the more fractured and unstable his internal state actually was. Which brings us back to those final days in Samut Prakan. His behavior became increasingly erratic while he lived in the luxury rental house with his girlfriend. The raw police findings broke the illusion of the optimized influencer. Inside his waist bag, investigators discovered 2 unused syringes and several unidentified pills, revealing a hidden life disconnected from the wellness persona he maintained online. His final descent was quick and devastating. After a driver noticed his agitation and refused to take his money, Murphy wandered the estate alone before his desperate jump into the deep lake. His physical armor eventually became a cage. When an ecosystem rewards a person for treating their own body as an endless optimization project, there is no finish line, only a breaking point.